Alrighty, folks, good morning to you. It's a little past 9:30 here on this Saturday morning. We're obviously keeping track of a lot of things. Hope you are doing well. Facebook, YouTube Landia, give me a like, thumbs up, some sort of capacity, knowing that I'm live out here as well. Or now, here we go, popping up on YouTube. This is now. We hope you're doing well outside, and just give you a second to kind of chime in with us here as we're going to be discussing everybody's conversation at the dinner table those past few nights as the winter weather, I would imagine, especially with a lot of kids looking ahead to what's ahead in store for us right now as well. And you kind of can see here while people, I'm going to wait a second while people kind of load on here as well. Drop your questions, drop whatever you have in store for us right now as well. I'm going to take this off and kind of see what's going on outside. This is right now, this is in Greenville, Arlington Boulevard right now. Not much traffic again really taking place. It's pretty quiet much of the area this morning here, seeing that view around Arlington Boulevard and Greenville. But again, most of us again are starting to see some of those increasing clouds. It's a little sunny out there. We got a few breaks of sunshine in play with us this morning. So definitely, again, a nice reward, a nice different treat here compared to the last several days it has been, because overall we're about to see some major changes coming in our forecast here as we head out and about as well. But other than that note, again, if you're just now joining us here, we're giving you a quick special Saturday edition with these. We've been doing these here for a while now. I feel like every time I pop up on here, I'm discussing some sort of weather events, and occasionally you see me popping up in here with, I'm always here with Gigi, or if Charlie's out, he's normally filling for him. Good morning, Mindy. Hope you're doing well on Facebook. So I think we've got just enough people here. Good morning from Windsor. Hope you're doing well. We have a lot of things to discuss, so let's just hop right into them. As they say, we're going to just scoot into this as we go towards today. First alert weather status moving in right now as well. I'll try to. All right, there comes the questions. They're popping on in. All right, let me just switch real quick. The way I'm going to do this, I'm going to run through the forecast. I will see your questions come in. I will try to answer them after I give you the rundown, because I know a lot of you want to know, what about my town? What about my town? What about this place? So I'm just going to give you an idea of what's going on. I will see you in the comments. I will acknowledge you, for a second, and then I'm going to get back to everything I'm doing. That way I can kind of go back to answer everything you have, and we'll all go through this together. So if you got questions now, go ahead, throw them in the chat, and then I will get back with them when the time comes, because I want to let people understand what's going on right now, so you know what's happening out there. So let me, real quick, I'll give people good morning from Greenville, Duplin. We got Jay's in this morning. We've got Wendy, Penny, Dustin. Good to hear from you as well. Nice name, by the way. We have Kia. We got all y'all in this morning. Thank you for all tuning on. And Kara, all y'all are just tuning on in. So let's get you now to the forecast because, like I said, if you got questions now, I suggest you just go ahead and throw them in the comments. That way I can start looking at locations. We already got something about Greenville, Plymouth, Windsor. All right, Ashley, I'm going to get to all y'all in just a second. So let's run through this together, shall we? Sit back, relax, get your cup of coffee, get your pancakes and eggs and oatmeal or whatever you're having for breakfast this morning, and sit back and let's ride this storm together, shall we? Little Washington, Michelle's in there. Nikki, good morning from Wilson. Catherine from Washington as well. So we have everybody. All right, I think we're all going to be riding the train together. Beaufort County's coming in. And then Andrew, good morning to you. All right, we're going to get right into this here. First alert weather status here as we go towards kicking off today, really through much of everywhere as well. Right now we're quiet. The radar is really not much to speak about here. We're pretty good to go. It's just cold out there. If you watched a morning show this morning, we were all bundled up. We'll post a picture a little bit later on our Facebook page. You can check that out, how cold it was this morning. Main concern is going to be that rain and freezing rain switch over as we go towards tonight. But again, we may be seeing things get interesting with the snow to start things off. So some of you may see snow to begin with. I know a lot of you are like, snow? He said the S word, snow. I know. We thought last weekend we'd see snow. I think this time we might see a little bit of it. Obviously, as we go towards the night hours, that's when things start to get a little bit more interesting as that freezing rain and that ice concern moves in. But the good news is that we're going to get warm overnight, so we're really going to start to see some of that warm weather move in here as we go towards the next overnight hours, helping us reduce the snow chance. So that's some good news with that. You're looking out on the radar. If you're now looking at the monitor on your phone here, however you're watching this, we do again have winter weather alerts. They are expanding all over the area here. Yesterday, these were winter weather advisories. They've now been upgraded, or winter storm watches, excuse me, and now they're all winter weather advisories. Winter storm warnings continue for portions of I-95 as well. And then you see that little pinkish little color there, well off the distance. That's actually an ice storm warning for some folks here. So that is well out of our jurisdiction. So again, we're watching with that too. All these run through Monday afternoon. They keep getting switched because the storm system itself, once again, is going to start coming into play. And by the way, good morning to all of our viewers who are joining us here. I see a lot of you all have tuned in. So like I said, if you have questions now, you can drop them in the chat, and I will go back and look at them, and chat can help me fix this as well. If you're asking why does he keep saying chat, it's I think all the kids say it these days. Anyway, temperatures right now, low mid-20s. We have a few 30s out there. We were at 32. I came into work this morning at about 2:45, 3:15. It was 35. It was 34 degrees when I came in this morning. Now it's 28 degrees. So we're getting colder now as we go towards this. Look at the wind chill. This is what the wind feels like right here as well. We're going to get a lot of these wind chills down to the teens and single digits moving into play. And that's the problem with this wind here. This north flow is in our forecast. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to get quite a bit of wind with everything. If you're like me, last night, I think it was about, as I was heading to bed, about 6:30, 7 o'clock last night, that wind was kicking up already. So I was hearing that wind. It kept me up, woke me up through a few nights. I'm sure it probably did to some of you as well. But winds 10 to 20, 25 miles an hour along with that. Here's your wind gusts. This is the problem here. This is what the wind chills create, this gust of wind moving in here. So it makes it feel a lot colder than it is right there, 20, 40 mile an hour winds. And you can see here on the radar that if you look at a little, real quick, a blip of some flurries, maybe Beaufort County, outside of Terrell, Hyde counties, maybe picked up a quick flurry this morning. Here's the main system right here. Look at all of this moisture coming into play. This system is very dynamic. It's running about almost a 2,000 mile span of winter alerts across the East Coast, all the way from the Mid-South to the Deep South, even the West Coast as well. So that's what we're watching out for. And all that's going to be moving our way pretty soon as we go towards tonight. Currently, though, over the next few hours, we're quiet. Nothing really to speak about as well. Just cold temperatures here. We're going to barely reach the freezing mark today, and then that's going to set the setup for a lot of things freezing on contact late tonight. Now, like I mentioned to you, the rain's going to come in overnight, helping us decrease that ice threat. So that's some good news. But unfortunately for inland counties towards I-95, this map here is a good demonstration of what we're looking at here. This is basically an indication of what we could see more so of some icing, power outages, some road concerns. If you're in that red category there, the major there, again, we got some folks from Murfreesboro joining us on here. I'm looking at the chat this morning, showcasing, pretty much west of Raleigh towards Asheville and Charlotte. Of course, I will say real quick, we had Helene. That was a little over a year ago now. And they're still, I would imagine, trying to rebuild after that. The last thing they need right now is an ice event and snowstorm coming their way. And think of it is, those folks don't need any more additional impacts regarding stuff like that as well. So again, if you know folks at Greensboro, heading towards Winston-Salem, Burlington, High Point, Reedsville, I'm showing out small town Eden, North Carolina, not Eden 10, Eden, which is near a little town called Yanceyville. I've got family that lives out there. And then you have Charlotte, Asheville, those Boone, southwestern North Carolina, going to be seeing those higher impacts. So if you know folks out there, check on them as quick. Derek, no, I'm not expecting a blizzard. The only blizzard you're going to probably see is at Dairy Queen. So if you're looking for that, go there. No, but we're not going to be seeing any major issues. No snow blizzards here. Just a lot of freezing rain, more so than anything. Here's these winter storm alerts. If you see that right there as well, it's over 2,000 miles of alerts issued from New Mexico all the way over now to Utah, even really towards Colorado. We're seeing that well up to the northeast. They're expecting several feet of snow north of D.C. up towards Boston. So that's what we're dealing with that as well. All right, here's some of your first alert headlines in the forecast as well. You do see, again, a lot of the impacts most likely will be heading in to portions late in the afternoon as you're doing so. So overall, again, later this morning, we are pretty calm right now. We're really not seeing much of anything at this hour. So if you do see precipitation falling, it's going to be a light, quick burst of snow maybe. But again, most of that is going to be light with that too. All right, Noah, this kind of gets into your question here about when do you expect the freezing rain to start? I saw some of you asked about that. We're expecting the timeline of this to start arriving, say, right around the freezing rain ice threat for portions of Beargrass, Greenville, up towards Pinetown. I've had a few people ask about that. Portions of the Martin County, Beaufort County, Pitt County, Craven County line, I'd say right around that late evening time frame. So roughly about 6, 7, 8 o'clock, we'll start to see that transition over to snow, over to freezing rain. That'll take place. Heavy precipitation moves in here, turning into a freezing rain mix, sleet and ice at times late tonight. And then the good news is, like I mentioned to you, we are going to see this warm weather move in overnight thanks to another coastal low pressure off the coast that's going to warm us up a little bit, turning to rain later tonight, which is going to reduce the amount of icing we're going to be seeing. So that's a little good news with that as well. So we are confident that we'll most likely still see some icing, especially back towards I-95. Now here's the radar. Noah and Chrissy, if you're still here, I got the forecast, hour forecast here, showcasing you that too. Again, if you are seeing any snowflakes later this afternoon, they're not going to accumulate too much. It's more so of some passing light sleet. This could be just a sleet shower. You may be getting pellets of sleet on your head. And real quick here, if you're asking the difference between sleet and freezing rain, I didn't have a graphic. I should have put this on there. But the difference basically meaning that there's more warmer air with all forms of precipitation regardless starts out as snow. Even rain does because it's colder. As each layer warms up, it'll go through a progression of warm, cold, and back to warm, or warm, cold, and then stay cold with that as well. And regardless, with air temperatures or the ground temperatures being so cold as they are, and freezing rain basically means it'll start just sticking immediately onto contact on elevated surfaces. So decks, porches, your car tops maybe. Some of those railing, those guardrails like that, I'm sure they will guardrails on the floor, but railings, that's what I'm trying to get the right term here. Freezing rain, meaning that it's already cold enough, so it's raining, but it's freezing on contact. Whereas sleet, it's a little bit warmer. If you think of Dippin' Dots, yeah, like Jade said, there's like sprinkles from there you go. It's a good explanation there, Jade. If you watched Zach Calder, our chief meteorologist Facebook page, he did a wonderful example explaining sleet and freezing rain. Like you said there, sleet pings, freezing rain clings. So think of it as that. When you hear bing, 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 if you've been outside and it's sleeting out there, and sometimes we get that if we get warmer, they call it grapple. Of course, it's a little more with warmer weather. You get those typically sometimes during winter events and thunderstorms as well occasionally. There's enough cool air. But if you hear that, just sounds like a little rain shower, it's more of a sleet coming down. And like I said, the freezing rain comes down. So that's a good example, Jade. I like that actually. The donuts is a good example of that. All right, let's get you back here with that as well. Later tonight, we'll see those freezing rain. I'm having too much fun with y'all this morning. So this makes it fun because I'm interacting with you all and I can kind of actually get what I'm doing here. These may be sleet showers. They may be a mix of freezing rain and some snow. But as we go towards again later tonight, this is when the transition process begins. You're seeing the warmer air. If anybody everybody is in the comments. If you're watching from Hatteras, Beaufort, north of Buxton, Frisco, Duck, Corolla, Manio, those areas there, if you're in the comments, let me know so I can kind of explain to you what's going on with that. Because the warmer weather, you may see a little brief period of some freezing rain with that as well. And then again, once we go towards overnight, the morning hours, see that dividing line between Kinston? Someone asked about Kinston earlier. I did see that. Kinston, Greenville, Williamson, Windsor, that freezing rain is raining while it's freezing on contact, but the warmer air is starting to move that in, helping us out, turn into a cold rain out there as well. So if you're pretty much along I-95, Kevin's asking about Goldsboro, depending on what part of Wayne County you are, I say if you're further on the outlining of Goldsboro, maybe so. Again, most of I-95, we'll probably see some slick conditions, though they have been priming those roads for a while now, but you'll most likely see some conditions. All right, as we go towards later on, the Sunday, warmer air moves in, which is some good news. It overtakes the freezing precipitation over to some sleet and freezing rain. Coastal spots, 60s, maybe a rumble of thunder cannot be ruled out because we're going to be so warm there. So again, some thunderstorms can't be isolated. But however, though, yes, April, rain will start to melt some of that rain over, freezing rain over, which again is going to be some good news to decrease that freezing rain threat. Someone asked about Pinetown. Lisa, if you're still here. Pinetown, you may see a little shot of some snow tonight or this afternoon, but that's not really going to be seeing much of anything with that as well. So again, let's see here. I'm trying to, what about Edgecombe County there? Most likely, if you're anywhere pretty much northbound of, let's say, Rocky Mount, Nash, the town of Bailey, Middlesex, I think is the town name. That's close. That's going closer to portions of heading over to Raleigh, Rocky Mount. I've already said that. Those counties probably will see a little bit of some sleet and a little bit of snow at start. And then again, as colder air catches up to it, and most likely will turn that over to some freezing rain. So anywhere, if you're along the I-95 counties, you have a higher potential threat, a higher concern rather, of seeing more of the freezing rain than the rain. Eventually you will see rain. It's just going to take a while for it to come. So tomorrow afternoon, after we get through the morning hours, once we get through the hurrah of everything here, we'll start to see warmer air overtake the area. And then again, rain. Look at this late in the evening hours as well. Let's see, Dana, Durham. So Durham, that's kind of out of our little viewing area, but generally I would say you probably will see more sleet, freezing rain, and ice, a little snow maybe that could accumulate out there as well. But if you're traveling along and pretty much west on 40 heading towards Greensboro, in that direction, most likely we'll see some concerns for everything. So we got a little bit of everything happening there from central North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham. Of course, technically not our viewing audience, but since a lot of you probably travel from Raleigh to Durham to get here at times, I will say most likely you're going to probably see a little bit more wintry weather than the east portions of our area here in Greenville, heading over towards portions of the north portion of that too. Lisa, yes, so snow's early in the morning. I'll run through this again in a little bit. So we'll probably see a little snow in between with that. Luther, Williamston, most likely going to be seeing the chance of some snow to start and changing over to a wintry mix and over to that mixed freezing rain line as well. Let's see here. Jay, I'm going to get to that in a second. If you could hold on. Here's what I'm going to do, folks. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. I'm going to run through the forecast real quick because I know that a lot of you are like, what about my town? What about? I'm going to run through the forecast real quick and I'm going to run through your answers. So I'm going to get to people are asking about Monday and things like that. So let me run through this real fast here with that. So tomorrow night, once we warm up enough, like we've been saying here, forgot who said it. They were talking about the ice melting. April had, so rain's going to start to melt some of this frozen precipitation. Late tomorrow night, we'll start to see this, again, heavy rain coming in. We're going to get a good dose of rain here in 60s along the coast and 40s inland. So it's going to be a wet start into Monday morning for some of you here. And this, I think a lot of you are asking about the accumulation amount as well. So if you do see here, most of the area could walk over the 10th to maybe a quarter of an inch of ice, a glaze with an inch of ice. If the person from Durham, who was that from, was asking about Durham, it was somewhere in here. I can't find so many of y'all have commented, which is great. The Durham thing, most likely a concern for some accumulating ice with that as well, so be mindful of that. North of 40, heading up towards portions of Zebulon, Knightdale areas could pick up again that potential half an inch of ice, give or take a quarter of an inch with that as well. This is more so sleet. I don't foresee us getting a big snow out of this. Now, north of Rocky Mount, heading up portions out of our area to the state line, could see more snow than us with that as well. And then rainfall. We've been dry. A lot of you, if you know, have been telling you about the drought monitor. We've been really, really dry for some time. Real quick here, with the winds, they're going to make it feel a lot colder here over to the next couple of nights ahead of us here. That northeast flow is not fun to be around because it's going to be very, very, very cold with those wind chills. So tomorrow we'll get a shift out of the south late tomorrow night, which will start to transition that warmer weather here to give us, and then winds will start to come back out of the northwest as we go towards Monday. So it's going to be breezy. It's going to be quite windy as well. Even your wind gusts could exceed between 20 and maybe 45 miles an hour at times as the system's blowing through. So regardless, we're going to be seeing a lot of wind. Real quick here, cold weather advisories will continue until roughly 1 o'clock today. I have a feeling these may be getting extended. We might be seeing a lot more of these coming in the near future because we're going to be getting a lot colder at night. Some reminders real quick here, teens and 20s at night, remember to drip those faucets, open those, allow those outdoor, if you got the water hoses hookups, you may want to probably let those come to a close. Make sure you put those installations, everything under your house is properly insulated, because the last thing you want to wake up to over these mornings is busted pipes everywhere. That's the last thing you want to worry about. Make sure to take care of your cars. Those need to be a priority because people are going to be needing to get to work. Bring your pets inside. If you can't bring them inside for any reason, I advise you do that. Make sure they've got a well-insulated blanket. Sometimes they'll tell you to use hay and straw, I think. For those instances, be careful with that. And make sure you're safe with the heaters. We've already had a story this past week regarding a space heater incident, so please be careful with that. Here's the temperatures, though. I want you to watch what happens with these wind chills here going in Monday morning. We're going to feel like the 30s there over the light a little bit. How about Monday night, getting down to some single-digit and teen wind chills Tuesday morning? It is going to be just downright cold overall, and that cold weather stays with that as well. We do have, again, first alert weather nights continuing here across much of the east. We're going to be seeing some quite busy stretches of weather here over the next few days, at least the next 2 days to come. A lot of you are trying to figure out how to plan your weekend. I'm going to say this, just kind of get what you need to get done today by 3 o'clock at the latest. Don't be on the roads. If you don't have to go out tonight, don't stay home. Throw some soup, throw the crock pot on or something like that right now, and then let the kids have a hot chocolate and s'mores night, because they're going to definitely need it. Some occupying some sort of capacity. And maybe if you got you know, games, board games, card games or something to keep them occupied. That's your dinner plans, folks. If you don't have a crock pot, maybe go out and get you a nice stew or something like that, or throw a can of soup on the stove. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but the gist is that it's going to be cold here. Rain to ice to freezing rain to rain tomorrow, and of course we'll keep a close eye on anything like that. More rain as we go towards Monday morning. You saw that run that earlier came through our latest model data showcasing some heavy rainfall late Monday, early Monday morning. That'll look like that'll be out of here by the noontime hour. So a wet start to Monday, and of course Saturday, the night hours is the problem here. Of course, if you do pick up any accumulation with anything, it is just going to be a mess of all sorts because we are going to start to see some of those rain showers overtake the area. And then again, for those who are trying to make plans to be outside over time, you want to get out there and do so as well. But other than that, all right, I'm going to answer questions now. A lot of you are on here. Thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us. I appreciate you doing that. We're going to be busy here as we do here over the next little bit. All right, Mark says bear stew. I've never had bear stew. That sounds pretty good, actually. I know deer and jerky hunting, turkey jerky, or blah 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 blah. Turkey and jerky. That's a pretty good combo. I've never had that either, but bear stew sounds pretty good. Let's see, Saturday night, Kara's asking, so tonight in, where'd you go? I just saw you. In Beaufort, mostly rain. If you're talking about the city of Beaufort and Morehead City, is that what I'm assuming that's what you're referring to? Most likely you're going to start out as rain and stay rain, maybe some mixing at times to give or take with that as well. And again, that'll be with what you're going to be dealing with that. Let's see, I'm trying to think of anybody else. Deep run. Most likely you're going to be dealing with a mix of rain and snow and then changing over to a wintry mix at times, and most likely going to be staying mostly in that sleet, freezing rain category through the most night of tomorrow and then changing over to rain. You're welcome, Dana. Luther, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jay. Pantego, similar to what you're going to be seeing in Washington and Bath. Starting out as a little bit of freezing rain and over to the rain, snow, over to that rain mix at times. Monday morning, a lot of you are asking about Monday. Of course, obviously, it's, yeah, the roads are asking about Monday. You know, I think most of the roadways should be fine because, like I said, once we get this rain melting, this freezing rain out of here, that will be the key to everything as we do so as we go towards the next little bit. So I think roads again, the school questions. I love getting these school questions. I'm not the superintendent. Based on the data we have, it does look like as of now, most of the roads should be fine. Now there's going to be some isolated spots out there that deal with freezing rain, that deal with those pockets of black ice. So again, be mindful of that as well. I'm going to pull up your 8-day forecast real quick, and then I'm going to answer some more questions, and I'm going to get out of here soon to get some other things going. We've got some other things we're going to be streaming a little bit later on this morning. Forecast again, we got this the cold weather here staying that way through Wednesday, Thursday, mid-30s out there. The other concern we'll have to be watching out for is that refreezing at night, and then overall, those overnight temperatures dropping to the teens and 20s out there. So bitter wind will be at play as we go towards the next little bit. So other than that, that's the theme here. It's just cold, sunny, chilly temperatures out there, and the overnight lows down the teens and 20s. I know a lot of you, you know, I believe Zach mentioned this last night in his video. You're already looking at your weather apps and going, Dustin, what about the next storm? Let's just get through this one first. It's already been a long stretch of forecasting this storm to come. I know a lot of you are asking about snow. This past week, we thought it would, and things changed. That's part of our jobs. You know, we are obviously, at least let's talk about a chance of snow on Thursday. Take it with a grain of salt. I can't necessarily say there's enough cold air in place. I'll pull this back up for you. Cold air's there. If we can get that cold air to match up with it just in time, right now that looks like a clipper system coming out of the west. It doesn't really look like much of anything at this time, ... subject to change. So again, be mindful of what you're seeing on social media here with the other platforms of your discretion and things like that. But other than that, though, it's going to be quite cold here for a while. But again, we'll see what happens Thursday and then the weekend. It's cold. We got to, if we can match that moisture up and pair it up with the cold air, we can possibly see some potential wintry weather in our forecast once again. So just keep that in mind. Pantego, Angela, pretty much the same as Washington and general area, starting out as rain and then starting out as a few flurries in Pantego over to a wintry mix, changing it to rain, snow, freezing rain mix, changing back over to rain. I think, hold on, I'm going to go back. We're going to go in reverse here with that as well. Let's see. Kristen says, glad things change. Yeah, she's no. So I'm assuming you're a no snow fan, I guess, Kristen. With that too, a lot of you people like the snow around here. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But I guess it just depends on where you are. I'm going to pull this graphic up real quick. I'll answer your questions here. Vanceboro, a lot of you are asking about the timing of everything. So I'm going to pull, this is a good explainer graphic. By the way, if you go to our website at WITN.com, there is a, you know what, I'm going to be nice enough this morning, and I'm going to do this for you all. So you can actually click on this story. You can look at it here. We have all the updated information of what you need to know right here. Kristen says no snow. Yeah, well, we're not going to be seeing any major snow issues here. So what I've done here, I have graciously pinned the article in this chat. That way you can go back and read it and look at it anytime you wish to do with that as well. So the timing of everything here, you showcase this right here. So again, if you want to share this video, please be by all means, please share, because I'm sure the same questions some of your friends have may be answers to this. But anyway, here we go. Look at this, going 30 minutes. Phew. See what happens when I have fun talking to y'all. Anyway, real quick here, and I've really got to get off. I've updated some other stuff in between throughout this little time I'm still here. Bring on 95 in the shade. Yeah, most likely going to be seeing that. Plymouth, Williamston, anywhere along the Albemarle Sound counties, closer to 64 north. You're most likely going to start out with a mix of sleet and rain to start, over to snow, change over to freezing rain and rain, and then change over to rain, which you kind of see that this explanator does a beautiful job. Screenshot this if you must, take a picture of that, whatever this is a good step-by-step information. We may have to adjust this later on today, so keep that in mind. So this is kind of what we're expecting with this here, of the timeline of everything like that. The model data. All right, here we go. I think a lot of you want to know what the model data shows right now. 4 o'clock, Vanceboro, maybe a quick flurry, in Windsor, north of Plymouth. You may get a quick flurry here or there. Snow showers, or sleet showers rather, may come in your favor for those who see that. And as you go towards tonight, that freezing rain sleet mix turns over to that freezing rain mix, a little bit of ice with that as well. Temperatures will be near or below freezing. Now, you see that warmer air coming in from outside of Beaufort. Is 40 degrees there. Upper 30s, low 40s along the coastline. You are not going to see any snow. If you do see any snow flurries, it is not going to last long, and it's going to be very brief. As we go towards tomorrow morning, watch the dividing line there. Those here in Pitt County, Bethel, example there, Lexi's watching from Bethel. You see that right there, that dividing line. If you're east heading towards Washington, over towards Pactolus, I'll go Pactolus Highway, Bethel, up towards Farmville, that's where things switch over there with that as well. So Brenda, I see your question about tomorrow morning. Here's tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. right now. Mix of snow and rain, cold rain, freezing rain. As it moves inland, freezing rain changes over to a cold rain by late morning, and we're all above freezing for the most of us here anyway. We're still near freezing along I-95. Those counties will continue to stay at or near freezing. So anywhere along I-95 most likely will be around a freezing concern. So be mindful of that. Roads will probably become a little more treacherous because you have more of a concern for refreezing there, while all of us will have a concern for isolated pockets of refreezing. Hope that answered your question, by the way, Brenda. Hope a lot of you have answered the questions with that. If you want to know more information, I have pinned the article in this chat. You can click there for a full detailed forecast with that as well. So Gene's asking about Warsaw. That name always, winding in Warsaw. It's pretty windy here. The wind's picking up with that as well. Here's your forecast by tomorrow night. We turn over to a cold rain. That's going to alleviate the precipitation and frozen precipitation to stick around. All that will be leaking as we go towards Monday morning. So it's going to be a wet start from Monday morning for everybody, regardless you're seeing any sort of frozen rain or frozen precipitation, but most likely rain. So it's going to be cold enough. So again, be mindful of that. Tenth to half an inch maybe ice well back up towards the northern I-95 counties there. And then again, snow and sleet looks unlikely. We're going to be seeing more sleet than anything. I'm going to pull the 8-day up real fast here, and then I'm going to sign off for the day. Sunshine returns though as we go towards next week. Bitter cold wind chills, temperatures in the 30s as well. Jenny, you make a beautiful point here about those power outages. Well, it's not so beautiful, but it's a great point rather. See where my mind is? My brain is racketeering with so many words in my head. You brought up a great point. That's what I was trying to get to. Power outages are possible, yes. For some folks, they could be scattered. Some could be widespread. Pretty much west of I-95 into central North Carolina have a higher concern with that as well. Let's see, roads, Mount Olivet on Monday morning. Going to be wet with that as well. Kinston, again, same story as Greenville, most likely going to be seeing that take apart with that. Grimesland here in Pitt County, it's a possibility. I'd just say be prepared for any power outages here over the next couple of days with that as well. So I'm not saying, and you may go this whole storm without seeing a power outage, and that's okay. That's great, I'm glad. However, the other people may see those power outages pop up. So if you do run into a situation like that, go ahead and get everything charged. Please be smart with the generators, especially with those gas generators. They can kind of run into a problem with the exhaust and things running around. So please be careful if you got children around the area as well. Angela, you're very welcome. Everybody, you're welcome. So hopefully, excuse me, this answered all your questions. I thank you all for joining us this morning. It's exciting for us because we finally have something to talk about now. I was joking with Zach yesterday before I left yesterday afternoon that we had been we remember it was sunny and cold, and it was warm, and it was nothing to discuss, and now it's like bang, 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 all would come about as well. Let's see, Cary, North Carolina, probably going to be seeing more of an ice threat, ice concern, possibly with that as well. So if you're in Cary, Apex, Raleigh, Durham, those surrounding areas most likely will see a concern for a refreezing, icing, a little bit more snow, and again changing over to rain with that as well. Candace, depends later on today. I'm running out of things to discuss here. So for more information, you can go to our website at WITN.com. I pinned the article in the chat, so you can go click on that. Let's see, real point. April, this must be a struggle. I wouldn't say it's stressful. I mean, sure it is. I mean, don't they say, you know, we have our moments, right? You know, but I will say it's fun to talk about that, especially coming from Virginia. We always get snow and ice continuously a lot. It's always exciting to forecast an area that doesn't really get it. It's exciting for a lot of you all because it's rare that we get these winter events here. At least over the last couple of years, it's been like that. So I hope, you know, yeah, it's stressful, it can be tiring. But the day's over with, we can go, you've kind of done your due diligence, as they say, with that too. So on that note, thank you all very much for tuning on in. I'm going to leave you now with a live shot at Morehead City because you're one of the very few locations that may not see any precipitation falling from the sky. Winter precipitation, that is. So just get ready for that. Stanley, Jacksonville, pretty much you're going to start out as you could see some sleet mixing in over and then changing over to mostly rain throughout the afternoon. It's going to be a cold rain, maybe some mixing at times. Can't obviously run a little bit with that as well. So hope that answered your question. Dominique, you're welcome. All you all have a wonderful, stay safe today.